A single millimeter of fabric. That's what separates a sleeping human from a 400-pound lion. A lion cub could tear it open in seconds. So why don't they? The answer has nothing to do with campfires, nothing to do with scent, and nothing to do with noise. It's something much stranger. It changes what the animal thinks it's looking at. In 1958, George Schaller dragged a canvas tent onto the open Serengeti. No fences, no vehicle, no gun, just fabric and grass. His job? Study lions. From 30 feet away, sleeping on the ground, surrounded by the densest concentration of large predators on Earth. Every night they came through camp. He could hear them breathing, paws pressing dry grass inches from his head. Sometimes a nose would push the canvas inward, a visible dent from inside. They never came in. Not once. Not in 3 years. Not in over 1,000 nights. One swipe, one effortless motion. The wall is gone. 800 pounds of apex predator stood inches from a defenseless man, separated by material weaker than a bedsheet, and it walked away. Every single time. Here's why. But first, let's kill the obvious answers because they're all wrong. Campfires? The fire dies at 2 a.m. You're asleep. Coals go cold. The lions don't leave when the flame goes out. Schaller's visitors came long after midnight. Tents mask human scent? A grizzly can smell a sealed granola bar inside a locked car from a mile downwind. You think a millimeter of nylon fools their noses? You're breathing, sweating, existing inside a sealed space for 8 hours. You're a scent bomb. They know exactly what's in there. Human noise? You're unconscious. 7 hours of silence. Completely still. Completely dark. They still don't come in. Fire's dead. Smells broadcasting. You're silent and motionless and helpless. Nothing happens. The fabric isn't stopping them. It physically cannot. So what is? Here's what nobody tells you about predators. They're not brave. They can't afford to be. A lion doesn't have a hospital, no doctor, no antibiotics, one infected wound, one broken tooth, one torn ligament, career over, starvation, death. Every attack is a gamble. So they don't gamble on unknowns. They pick the weak one, the young one, the separated one, the thing that will not fight back. And when something is unclear, when the risk can't be calculated, they leave. A tent is deeply, profoundly unclear, not shaped like prey, doesn't move like prey, doesn't behave like anything a predator has encountered in millions of years of evolution. It's just there, large, strange, motionless, smelling like chemicals. That's not food, that's a question mark. And predators don't attack question marks. But here's the part people get completely wrong. We assume predators see the world like we do. We look at a tent and think, thin fabric, easy to tear, person inside, obvious meal. But we have context. We know what a tent is. We built it. A lion sees something else entirely. A large, unfamiliar shape. No legs, no head. No eyes reflecting light. A silhouette that matches nothing it has ever hunted. It doesn't think that wall is thin, I could break through. It has no concept of walls, no concept of inside. What registers is simpler. Unknown shape, unknown risk, no visible reward. Now compare that to a person sleeping in the open, just a sleeping bag. There's a shape, organic, shifting, breathing, limbs, a head, identifiable. That's enough to start the hunting sequence. See movement, lock on, assess weakness, stalk, close, kill. A tent breaks that chain at the very first link. Nothing to lock onto, nothing to identify. The sequence never fires. The tent doesn't make you safe. It makes you invisible. Not to their nose, not to their ears, to their hunting instinct. You disappear from the category of things I eat. Now, Does this mean tents are bulletproof? No. And I'd be lying if I said otherwise. In 2021, a grizzly pulled a woman from her tent in Ovando, Montana, and killed her. Investigation found scented toiletries and food nearby. A food-conditioned bear. One that learned tents sometimes mean food. That's the most common pattern. A cooler left out, garbage stored wrong. An animal that got rewarded for investigating human structures. The tent stopped being an unknown and became a container, like a log with grubs inside, something to open. But not every case fits. In 2010, a bear at Soda Butte Campground attacked without any food conditioning. She was sick, underweight, riddled with parasites. Investigators called it a rare predatory attack they couldn't fully explain. So the honest answer? The overwhelming majority of encounters. Healthy predator, no food reward history, end the same way. It sniffs, it pauses, it walks past. Almost always. Almost is the honest word, not always. George Schaller, 3 years on the Serengeti, Derek and Beverly Joubert, 30 years in Botswana, lions through Camp Nightly, Craig Packer, Cynthia Moss, decades of fieldwork, thin fabric, large predators everywhere. None of them were attacked inside a tent. The nylon isn't a wall. It's a disguise. It doesn't protect you the way steel does, by being strong. It protects you the way a magic trick does, by being confusing. You stop being a human on the ground. You become a strange, formless shape that doesn't trigger a single link in the predatory chain. A millimeter of nylon, weaker than paper, thinner than skin. It shouldn't save your life, but it does. Not because it's strong, because it's strange.